Hey, everybody, this is Brad Alexander with the Alexander Home Team, Keller Williams. And y'all know me, I like doing videos on hot topics that are affecting us today. And what better hot topic that's affecting us today than how is, quote unquote, the pandemic affecting the real estate market? Folks, that is a great question that I think I've got a pretty good answer for. All right. So with that being said, I used to teach high school students business. And, you know, to be honest with you, when I taught high school business, I taught it in theory. I taught a principles of high school business, but I didn't own a business. Well, now I own a business. But one topic I used to talk about whenever we talked about in my high school business classes was what business is are recession proof. We used to always talk about what business could you own that could make it through a recession. Well, we never thought about what business could you own that you could make it through a pandemic. And so I used to teach the kids about, people don't ever quit going to the restroom. People don't ever quit making trash. And in the city limits, you're not allowed to burn your own trash. People really don't ever stop having babies. So and literally, folks, I taught this as a lesson. What businesses were, quote unquote, recession proof? Well, now we've got what businesses are pandemic proof. You know, one business that's been pandemic proof, folks, hopefully I'm going to make you laugh here, but my septic pumper, all right, Foster septic pumping has been working around the clock since March. Yes, that's true, folks. I'm here to tell you that during the pandemic, one of the best businesses to own, besides Zoom, has been septic pumping. So there you go. So let's get to the topic at hand today. How has the real estate market been affected by the pandemic? So, folks, it's a simple supply and demand freshman economics class, maybe even high school economics class. I know I taught this same principle to high school students. So this video is a simple high school economics, first week of economics class out the door. Supply. What has happened to supply since March 10th? It's gone down. All right. Supply has gone down. What is our supply? Our supply is houses with signs out in the front yard saying for sale. All right. That's our supply. And for whatever reason, people don't feel like they're safe to let strangers in. Whatever the reason might be, all right, we have had a short supply of houses on the market. The other day, our team put a house on the market in Plum Creek, Kyle, Texas, which is a huge subdivision. And when I was running the data, there was 3 houses that were on the market, active on the market right then. All right, 3 houses we were competing with. All right. Think about when I used to be a high school football coach. Your supply was your football players, and if your supply of receivers wasn't very good, then whenever you looked at little Johnny over there, and little Johnny wasn't very good, but it was the only thing you had, he got to play. All right. Welcome to our real estate market. There ain't very many little Johnnies out there. So supply is down. Demand. What's going on with the demand? Well, I don't know how high it is. I don't know if it's higher than it was, but here's what I do know. It is high. All right. The demand for real estate around our country, not just in the Austin area, but here I am talking to you about the Austin area, but the demand around our country has gone up. Why has our demand gone up? Well, there's three main reasons. Number one, we live in Austin, Texas, the Central Texas area. All right. I don't want to be claimed to be an Austinite. So we live in the Austin area. It's still a very popular place to live. Rates are at an all-time low. I talked to somebody earlier today, said they got 2.45% interest rate. Folks, let me say that one more time. 2.45% interest rate. That's crazy. That's nuts. All right. And then the last reason is it's summertime. People back in January had mentally told themselves that they were going to move this summer. Well, now it's summertime and it's the end of the summertime, and by God, they're going to do it. All right. We're putting 2 houses on the market this week. So I think the rush is going to happen a little bit later than June, like it's been in the past, or even May and April. So the demand is up. All right. So supply down, demand up. Open up any economics book you could get your hands on, and that's going to tell you that the price goes up. So if you're thinking about selling, all right, I've been telling people on average, and I don't fact check me on this one because I don't have an exact data. I have my gut, and I would be willing to put my gut instincts against any data any day of the week on this one. I think that the pandemic has caused your house value to go up about 5%. So on a $200,000 house, your house value is going up about $10,000 since March. It's not bad, folks. Somebody asked me today, Brad, do you think they're going to drop back down? Folks, real estate prices have only went back down one time since the Great Depression, and that was 2008. So they could. I'm not here to say they won't. All right. But if I was a gambling person, I would put on there, they're not going to go back down. All right. So prices are up if you're selling. But then if you're buying, you're like, but Brad, prices are up. Yeah, but you're getting that 2.5% interest rate, folks. You can handle a little bit more. That's phenomenal. That is, I know when Stephanie and I bought our first house, we thought a good rate was 6%. All right. So if you got to pay an extra $5,000 on a house or $10,000 on a house, you're still getting your money back over a 30-year period. You're still doing well as a buyer at that interest rate. What part of our real estate market that probably isn't seeing the upswing? It's investment properties. All right. If you remember back in March, April, May, political leaders came out and somewhat told people they didn't have to pay their rent. So that's we've kind of gotten away from that, but colleges aren't full to capacity. So investment properties are not flying off of the market like single home residences are. So, but hey, me and Stephanie put an investment property under contract this weekend, so it is possible. But investment properties are not as hot as owner occupied properties are. So there you go, folks. I am here to tell you how has the pandemic affected our real estate market. If you ever have any questions, please, folks, give me a call, 512-361-1568. Shoot me an email. That's bradalexander@kw.com. No dots, no dashes, just bradalexander@kw.com. If you ever have any questions with real estate, I'm the person to call. So once again, Brad Alexander with the Alexander Home Team, here to make your dreams a reality.